And joining me now from Beijing is Wang Hailing with the Chinese Academy of Social Science. He's a professor and director of the National Center for Ocean Affairs and the Law of the Sea. Well, we are going to see a new president of the United States in January. Walk us through how the issue of the South China Sea would change with each of these candidates. I want to get your perspective. Why don't we start first with Secretary Clinton? As Nathan pointed out, she's often seen as the architect of the pivot to Asia. How do you see a Clinton presidency when it comes to this issue?
If Clinton wins, she will continue and strengthen the pivot to Asia or the rebalancing strategy to Asia Pacific. And she is going to make use of the South China Sea to put pressure on China and strengthening ties with its Asian airlines on the South China Sea issue. However, we have seen that in recent months that the ties between China and other littoral states of the South China Sea, especially the Philippines, have been rekindling and strengthened. So it's difficult. It's very difficult for the U.S. to use the South China Sea against China. And we have seen that Malaysia and China also have contracts on 4 warships which will be built by China. And China and Vietnam's military relation has also been strengthened. So
let me ask you about...
we will see that.
I was just going to say, let me get your thoughts then on Donald Trump, his presidency. Is there any way at all to gauge how he might respond differently than Clinton?
Yes, if Trump wins, he may pay more attention on domestic issue, especially economic and trade. And Trump will strengthen economic and trade ties with China. However, he may also use the South China Sea issue to play with China.
What are some of the other issues that complicate this relationship between the United States and China, you think?
I think overall the China-U.S. relation will be more strengthened and have more cooperation regarding such as the climate change and some global issue. However, as we have seen in recent years that the South China Sea issue is also a problem between China and the U.S., although it should not be. But we hope that the U.S. will use restraint in the South China Sea issue and let the littoral states of the South China Sea discuss and negotiate the South China Sea issue by themselves, as mentioned in the DOC, the Declaration of the Code of Conduct in the South China Sea, which signed by China and ASEAN countries in 2002.
Well, thank you so much for your observations, and thanks you for joining us from Beijing.